Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, has called on the National Assembly to assume full control of its infrastructure from the Federal Capital Development Authority to strengthen democratic governance and uphold the principle of separation of powers. Speaking at a public hearing on the bill to establish the National Assembly Infrastructure and Property Development Agency, the Speaker, who was represented by Minority Honorable Ali Issa JC, described the legislation as timely and necessary to safeguard and maintain the integrity of the National Assembly complex and its assets nationwide. He lamented the consequences of external control over the years, including delayed repairs, safety concerns, and inefficiencies. According to him, a dedicated agency would introduce long-term planning, preventive maintenance, and transparent procurement, leading to cost savings and improved work conditions, adding that the new agency would oversee all aspects of the National Assembly's physical infrastructure, from structural maintenance and mechanical services to liaison offices and the preservation of architectural heritage.
This bill does not seek to replace the existing Directorate of Estate and Works. Rather, it rightly transfers the responsibility currently performed by the Federal Capital Development Authority to the National Assembly itself. This means we are placing control over our premises where it belongs, within the institution that uses and maintains them. The aim is to ensure that maintenance, development, and preservation are handled with the priority and professionalism they deserve. Over the years, we have seen the consequences of disjointed management, including delayed repairs, safety concern, and operational inefficiency. With a dedicated agency, these challenges will be addressed through a long-term planning. Preventive maintenance schedules and transparent procurement, the result will be cost-saving, better working conditions, and environment that will reflect the dignity of our legislative work. The agency will manage every aspect of our building and precinct. This includes structural maintenance, mechanical services, liaison offices, and preservations of our architectural heritage.
The clerk to the National Assembly, Barrister Kamoru Ogunlana, who spoke in support of the bill, said the Federal Capital Development Authority currently has statutory responsibility for public infrastructure in the FCT, including the National Assembly and Supreme Court complexes, adding that this arrangement is detrimental to democratic practice, while revealing that the Abuja complex remains under the FCT Minister and the National Assembly's Lagos facility under the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, said the situation is unacceptable.
How can we have a parliament that don't have control over its facilities? It's not done. I don't know of any. That is what informed us saying we need to. Now, these two functionaries that I mentioned, the FCDA is not just in control administratively. The FCDA is empowered by the FCDA Act of 1976. Or they are responsible for the building of public buildings. And once they build, they manage. That had been the situation since 1979. National Assembly is not the only agency in that position. Even the Supreme Court complex is under FCD. But it's not good for Parliament. That's why we are saying we need to rejig the law. And that is what informed the idea of this. But looking at this bill, our original concept is to strip these agencies and vest the authority, the ownership, control, management, to use your language, maintenance of this complex on the National Assembly management
Chairman of the House Committee handling the bill, Honorable Amos Daniel, said the hearing is a milestone in the legislature's quest for thorough autonomy.
The proposed bill seeks to address a critical anomaly in our democratic setup, where the Federal Capital Development Authority, popularly known as FCDA, is responsible for the construction, development, and maintenance of the National Assembly infrastructure, which contradicts the doctrine of separation of powers. Before proceeding further, let me begin by expressing a sincere appreciation to the Federal Capital Development Authority. Over the years, the FCDA has played a vital role in the infrastructure development of the National Assembly complex. From the early days of Nigeria's return to democracy, the FCDA has provided the institutional and technical support that has helped shape the physical space within which the legislature has operated. For this, we are grateful. However, there must come a time in the evolution of every democratic institution when certain arrangements are reviewed in order to better reflect the principle of institutional independence and efficient governance. That time for our legislature is now.